Welcome, everybody, to the University of Rhode Island. I'm Noah McLane alongside Connor Derosia, Jonny Blair, your co-hosts for today's Rhody Game Day. It was a great week. A lot of new music, a lot of exciting stuff happening here at the University of Rhode Island. Tonight, NLE Choppa, Sexy Red. Get your ski on if you're feeling like that. And here, of course, the reason why we are coming to you is because the Rhode Island Rams have an Alumni Weekend showdown with the Richmond Spiders. First things first, gentlemen, Connor Derosia, we'll start with you. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm very good, very good. Looking forward to this Richmond game. Feeling confident going in. So yeah.
Fantastic. And Jonny, yourself?
I'm doing just as good. I mean, looks like we're getting a little bit of sun. Hopefully the game's not too overcast or too rainy or foggy. Hopefully we get a good day, and hopefully we get a Rhody win.
Well, there you have it. Jonny Blair, Connor Derosia. I'm Noah McLane on Rhody Game Day for Anchor Sports. Be right back with much more. Let's start off with a Week 6 victory in a Governor's Cup fashion against the Brown here in Week 6. Rhode Island taking their 5th straight Governor's Cup, and we will see more from Jonny Blair.
Yeah, so Week 6 yielded a lot of great stats from a lot of key players on this Rhode Island team. Start off with the quarterback, of course. He threw for over 220 yards and 3 touchdowns. And now let's head into the defense, where you go look at Saeed Gibbs, who had 9 tackles, 2 interceptions, including the game-sealing interception, which was good enough to win CAA Rookie of the Week. Also, manning the linebacker position, A.J. Pena had 3 tackles for loss and 1 sack, really getting to the quarterback, affecting that game.
Yeah, name of the game for against Brown was big plays by big players. Jaden McKenzie with a 50-yard touchdown run up the sideline. Kadero Summers with a 50-yard touchdown too. And not even to mention Randy Jordan with a 95-yard kick return to the house. Saeed Gibbs really stood out on the defensive end, like Jonny said, with 2 picks and 9 tackles.
A quick look at the CAA standings. We know all too well that every game is a meaningful one. At the top, number 1, Elon, undefeated, along with Delaware at number 2. Those are the 2 undefeated teams so far in the top 5. Number 3, Albany. William and Mary at the number 4, and, of course, your Rhode Island Rams at number 5. This is an ever so important game, along with the rest of the games for the Rams this season. Speaking of the rest of the games this season, let's toss it over to Connor Derosia to take a look at just what those games might bring.
Yeah, after today, URI has 4 games remaining at University of Albany versus New Hampshire versus NC, North Carolina A&T. Those are both home games, and then finishing out the season at Townsend. Those 4 teams have a combined 3 in-conference wins. Looking good for University of Rhode Island. I'll toss it over to Jonny.
Yeah, 2 of those games are just even more important because they'll be at home. The game versus UNH with the debut of the new scoreboard, hopefully, and then also NC-A&T, also a home game. So maybe a little bit better favor for the Rhode Island Rams.
Welcome back to Rhody Game Day. I'm Connor Derosia here with my co-hosts Noah McLane and Jonathan Blair. Rhode Island comes into today 4-2, facing the Richmond Spiders. Last 3 years have been pretty decent for Rhode Island football. 7-4 these last 2, and 2-1 in the COVID-shortened season. Rhode Island looks to improve with 4 winnable games left after today. Even today is very winnable. So I'll hand it over to Noah here.
Well, thank you, Connor, and we will talk quickly about a couple of things. First things first, next week, New Hampshire coming to town. This is a big game. Last year, a tough taste in the mouth after a 31-28 loss for the Rams. And, well, Jonny, you got some more.
This game is especially special because, according to AD Thor Bjorn on Marks for Marks, hosted by Mark Radigan, he says he's hopeful that the scoreboard can be up and running and operational by that game on October 28th.
And, well, we have talked a lot about plenty of different things really today, guys. We've pretty much about covered just about everything. And before we do head out, we do want to talk a little bit about our final score predictions, some game changers in today's matchup, and who's going to take home a W. Let's start with Jonny Blair. Who are you thinking today, Jonny?
I'm thinking URI. I think it's silly not to, right? I mean, the home field, big game, very important game to really see what this team is made of. And I got a big contribution from the quarterback to Seton Hill on the way. Richmond allows a 65% completion percentage, which is 5th worst in the CAA. Throw the ball. They can't defend it, and we excel at it. So that's what I think. Seton Hill having a big day today.
A great point right there. Connor Derosia, who are we thinking for game changers, final score prediction, walks away with the W?
Yeah, I've got URI 42-24. URI put up over 30 points in every game except for one, that being the Villanova game. Okay, rough game there, but every other game, 34 or more points. For my game changer, I'm going to have Marquise Buchanan, the red shirt freshman. He's had over 70 yards in every game except for one. I think he's in for a big, big game today.
Well, we were talking about the offense on a lot of different sides. We know this offense has been fantastic. For my game changer, let's start there. I'm going to go A.J. Pena. I know we've mentioned him. I sound like a broken record, but sometimes you got to give credit to guys where credit is due. A.J. Pena is going to be the guy to change the defensive mindset in today's game. The offense will be rolling, so A.J. Pena is going to be the game changer. Final score, I'm thinking a nice 37-7. In favor of the Rhode Island Rams. The offense is going to be rolling, and like I said, that defense is going to make a big statement. But all in all, guys, we're all in agreement. Rhody, domination win today. And it's hard to believe, but we are pretty much halfway through this football season. We got a lot of football left to play, though, so let's talk about some of the midway points and players that have been standing out. A lot of young guys on this roster on both sides of the ball. Rookie of the Year product. What are we thinking? Let's start with the offensive side of things. Johnny, Blair, who you got?
I think for me, the obvious choice on the offensive side is wide receiver Marquise Buchanan. The Providence native has had a very large effect on this URI offense. He's got 18 receptions for 330 total yards receiving and 4 touchdowns. Now, I don't know about you, he's averaging 20 yards per catch. Big deep threat for Kasim Hill. Had a massive role on this offense this year.
Absolutely. Connor?
Yeah, Johnny said it all. Marquise Buchanan's been a dog. Okay, 20 yards a catch. He's really done a great job being the second option to Katero Summers in an offense that's seen contributions from a lot of different players. 3 receivers over 300 yards. There's really no other choice here. He's been very good and stood out as a wide receiver too for this offense.
Well, I'm just going to keep it simple. 3 for 3. That's you, Marquise. Okay, now let's talk about on the defensive side of things. We talked about offense. Defensively, this has been a big thing for Rhode Island this season. Obviously, we know this team can score. How do we keep them off the board? Rookies, who's been standing out for you?
I think another obvious choice here is cornerback Saeed Gibbs. Just won CAA Rookie of the Week after the game-sealing interception against Brown to seal the Governor's Cup. On the year, though, he has 33 tackles with 3 picks and 3 pass breakups. Been a menace to all quarterbacks he's facing and a big help for this URI defense.
Absolutely. Connor?
Yeah, I hate to copy him, but it's an easy choice. Saeed Gibbs. Not only does he have 3 picks, 2 coming against Brown the other day, and a big win in the Governor's Cup, including a pick with 6 seconds on the clock to seal the victory. He has 33 tackles. He's top 5 on the team in tackles. So not only is he turning the ball over, but he's making plays even when the ball's not thrown his way.
Sometimes things may seem repetitive, but sometimes great minds just think alike, and there is a right answer to that. So I'm going to go 3 for 3. Just keep it simple. We keep it rolling. Now let's talk about a couple of other mid-season awards. We talked about the rookies, and now let's talk about most improved player so far this season. Johnny, who do you think?
You know, I just went back to the defense, talked about Saeed Gibbs. Now I'm going back to the offense, okay? Talking about wide receiver Darius Savage. The senior, actually, last year only had 19 catches for 218 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's already doubled his touchdowns, and the season's only halfway through. So far this year, he's got 26 catches, most on the team. He's been a really good security blanket for Kasim Hill. Also made some incredible catches, including that touchdown against... Who's that one?
I don't know, but it was a cool touchdown.
It was a really good touchdown.
Absolutely. That's a great choice, Johnny. And Connor, who are you thinking for most improved?
I'm going to go back to the defense side of the ball to junior Frederick Millay. 5'9" corner, not a big guy, but he has 2 picks on the year, including 10 tackles, almost matching his tackles from last year. And once again, turning the ball over is huge. Rhode Island's defense, not a defense that turns it over, averaging about 1 turnover a game. So 2 picks from Frederick Millay has been huge for this Rhode Island defense.
And we talk about a guy whose name is mentioned a lot. He has been mentioned in the past, but it takes a lot, guys, to when you get to the top and to stay at the top. A.J. Pena, that is my pick for most improved. He is always a highlight on the stat sheet. And now for the final 2, we are going to take a look of the offensive MVP and the defensive MVP. Let's toss it over. We're going to switch it up, go to my left this time. Connor, who do you have for this season so far on the offensive side? Who's been running the show?
Kasim Hill, the 7th-year quarterback, stood out. It's over 1,600 passing yards, a 14-5 touchdown to interception ratio, 152.9 passer rating. There's really no other choice. Rhode Island goes as he goes, and a pretty easy pick here.
I cannot say more myself. Johnny, agree? Disagree? Who do you got for me?
I want to disagree so bad. Katero Summers has been such a good weapon for Kasim Hill, but at the end of the day, Kasim Hill's the one getting him the ball. Along with all the other receivers on this Rhode Island team, I have to go with Kasim Hill. The difference in this offense from this year to last year is night and day. It's been so much more, pass first, deep routes down the field. It's been a great sight to see. Kasim Hill's been leading the offense in a very extraordinary way.
Absolutely. We talked about before this season, there was a lot of talk of why does he keep staying here? Let's give somebody else a chance. But boys, if there is no reason to get rid of him, he's throwing the football pretty darn well. I'd say it's working all right for these guys. So Kasim Hill is that offensive MVP. On the defensive side, let's go right to left this time. Johnny, defensive side of the ball, there's been a lot of prospects. Who do you have for me, MVP so far?
There are a lot of really good players on this defense. I'm going to go with the senior linebacker, Evan Stewart. 48 total tackles. He's really manning down the middle of that defense, flying across the field, making plays left and right. He's been huge for this defense, and I'm just excited to see more of him.
Thank you, Johnny. Connor, what are you thinking?
Yeah, Evan Stewart made a great case for Defensive Player of the Year for this team, but I'm going to have to go with the sacker, AJ Pena. 5.5 sacks on the year, 33 total tackles. Rhode Island doesn't get a ton of pressure, only 9 sacks on the season. He's got 5.5 of them. That can't be understated. AJ Pena's been the person rushing the quarterback more than anybody, so he's my pick for Defensive Player of the Year.
Well, Connor, we're from the same hometown. We've been growing up since we were about 3, and you just about stole everything out of my mouth. But AJ Pena, that is my defensive MVP as well. We'll take a short break, but don't go anywhere. We're going to ask some fans in the tailgate section some picks, projections of today's game.
All right, we're out here at the tailgate with Patrick. How you doing today?
Tired, but good. Enjoying the nice cold weather.
All right, question of the day is, what's your score prediction for today?
I'm going 33-17 Rams.
Great pick. I love it.
Welcome back, everybody, here on Rhody Gameday. Noah McLane, and I am here with
Maddie Sachs.
Fantastic. Maddie, 2 questions. First one is, who walks away with a Rhody W today?
Oh, us, definitely.
Good answer. And final score prediction for you?
31-17. 31.
There you have it. The final score prediction from Maddie this week, like herself.
Alrighty, I'm here today with Jordan. How you doing?
Not too bad. I'm excited.
All right, question of the day. Who is the first player to score a touchdown?
I'm thinking wide receiver Katero Summers.
I'd have to back that. Great pick, Jordan. Thank you.
Well, thank you everyone so much for tuning in to yet another fantastic week of Rhody Game Day. This week was brought to you by Rhody Football and, of course, Anchor Sports. For Johnny, Blair, Connor Derosia, Noah McLane, signing off, saying stay safe, stay dry, and hey, go Rhody.